Today my video is going to be about the Second World War, as you might have guessed, and about the Aryan race. Aryan is an English loanword derived from Sanskrit, Aria, which meant noble. While originally it was meant as an ethno-linguistical classification, in the 19th century it developed more as a racial theory or ideology that said that the Aryan race was a master race. Nazi racial theorist Hans Gunther identified the Aryan race in Europe as having 5 subtypes: the Nordic, the Mediterranean, the Dinaric, the Alpines and the East Baltic. In his book Raza der Deutsche Volks, I hope I said that right, Gunther identifies that the Nordic type, the Germans, have all 5 of the subtypes. With Nazi backing, Gunther attained a position at the anthropology department in the University of Jena in 1932, where Hitler then attended his many lectures. I'm going to explain the Aryan characteristics on this Aryan model. They have normal body proportions and no extra features. They have an air of arrogance and think that they are superior to everyone. Their hair is normally blonde and their eyes preferably blue or green. Their nose is any type except Jewish. Their forehead is big but contains little brain. They are white because they are not used to working.
Excuse me?
Okay, that's not true. All in all, they're a well-organised group of idiots that follow a mad guy who calls himself leader. You can find another model. Gunther identified the Jews as descending from a non-European race and descending from what he called East Asian race. The Near Eastern type being very commercially spirited and artful traders, he said that they held strong manipulation skills that aided them in their trade. Gunther also said that they were bred not much for the conquest and exploitation of nature, but more for the conquest and exploitation of people. Okay, I've gone over this whole thing like 100 times, so I think this is it. This is how we can boost the economy of Germany and help maybe prevent the war. So, if you could just sign here and here, then our deal will be through. Yes, well, of course I'll sign. Ha ha! You're a filthy Eastern-born economy-meddling Jew who wants to probably exterminate all the Aryans in the world and kill our economy while you're at it. Well, I'll tell you something. We will be done before you can even do your plan. And I'll tell you something else as well. You can also give me a share in your business and nothing of this will happen. Yep. Hitler's conception of the Aryan master race explicitly excluded the Slavs, saying they had lots of Jewish and Asian influences. The Nazis stated that the Slavs were Untermenschen, which means subhumans. Exceptions were obviously made for the Slav. The Nazis thought to descend from German or German settlers, and they were seen as Germanized, so they were seen as the proper Aryan race as well. Hitler also said that the Slavs were a big mass of slaves who feel the need of a master. The Nazi notion of Slavs being inferior to them was also part of the agenda to create Lebensraum, which is living space. This was initiated in the Second World War, and what they did was they migrated loads of Germans to conquered places in Eastern Europe, where then the original Slavic people and inhabitants would be removed, annihilated or enslaved. Nazi Germany Minister Joe Goebbels also had the media speak of Slavs as dirty wild animals that came from the Siberian tundra and that were like a dark massive waif of filth.
Do you know what we do with non-Aryans, like Slavic people? What do we do with them? Hello? What are you doing here? Yeah? What you got to say? Carry on working! What do you think you are, you filthy rabbit? You know, they should go and live back in the tundra where they belong, with their whole Slavic family. They should work for us, yeah, in their bloody kulaks or something, whatever they call it.
You do know I'm from Slavic descent as well, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter, because you just look perfect, like an Aryan.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
The question of whether Italians were Aryan enough was aroused by many Nazi theorists. Hitler thought that the North Italians were Aryan, but that the Southern Italians weren't. In 1930, strong tensions arose between Nazis and fascists because of the rise to power from the Nazi party, led by the Führer Adolf Hitler, who had a more Nordic conception of the Aryan master race. So this put a lot of pressure on Mussolini, and it looked like Nazi and fascists were kind of contradictory, and that's when they set up a meeting. After this meeting, they made a manifesto of the racial scientists. Though the Italian fascists changed their original position on race, I'm gonna go because it's raining. Change scenery because of terrible rain. Though Italian fascism changed its original position on race through the 1920s to the 1930s, they were originally not actually discriminating towards Jews. They even had Jews in their National Fascism Party. Even Mussolini himself had relationships with Jews. He had a Jewish lover, I believe. Hitler thought that there were Aryans also in Iran and India, which originally is true because they used to call themselves Aryans because they spoke the language of Sanskrit. But Hitler's thoughts on the Aryan race were far from logical because he also thought that there were Aryans in Tibet. Hey you! Yeah, you. You're going to be my new BFF. Found it! No? Okay. Okay. Bye guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you got some more information about the Aryan race and the Second World War. I hope you liked it in general, and just hit like if you liked it a lot. And a massive thanks to my history teacher, because I really like these projects way more than the actual homework, because like this we get to understand it way better, I think, in my personal opinion. So bye!